Welcome back to the Mythmakers podcast. This is our third episode, which is crazy. Ooh. I can't believe we are staying so on top of this. But
it's because Micah's editing.
Mm-hmm. I have to go back.
Okay, bye.
Micah.
Do you want the door closed?
Yeah, sure.
So we are here to talk more about all things fantasy, but also some, I don't know, internet things and movies, and I feel
anything
like
nerd.
Anything nerd adjacent, I think works for us. We had our first tavern night, which was really fun. We ended up playing games. What did you guys end up playing?
Magic
the Gathering.
Yeah.
Did you play any other games other than that?
No, Magic takes a really long time.
I don't really understand. So is Magic similar to Yu-Gi-Oh? Because I feel like I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was dueling, but you guys were playing, there was like 5 of you playing at one time. So is it more like Risk?
No, you can play one-on-one. It's just you can also play
5
with many people.
Together?
Yeah, 5 is probably the most you should do.
That's very interesting. I don't really understand it because I feel like as a person who was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueler, we had weird beef with the Magic people.
Yeah, I think
because they took up the space that we were taking up. It was a long time ago.
My brother was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I also played Yu-Gi-Oh! So in Magic, you're attacking the person.
Okay.
Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh! You're attacking the creatures, right? In Pokemon.
No, I really don't understand that. So I feel like you have life points in Yu-Gi-Oh! So technically you're getting attacked, right?
Okay. I guess
Is it kind of the similar idea? But there are like creatures in Magic, right?
Yes. Your creatures are basically like your wall.
Okay. So you're behind a wall and the wall is of creatures and cards.
Yes.
But you could lose all of those and be just open and then someone could attack you? That happens?
So, you're always attacking the person. So, like, you're a wizard and you're controlling all these creatures.
You're a wizard.
Mm-hmm. So other people are trying to...
So that's the premise of Magic, is that you are a wizard. And then these are all the things that you're doing with your magic. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm getting it now. Okay. Okay.
So if you don't have any creatures... like, obviously, then they just attack you.
But everybody is a wizard by default.
Yes.
You can't be anything but a wizard.
No.
You're all wizards.
Yes.
Okay, it's a wizard game.
Or mage, or whatever you want to call it.
Wizard, mage, cleric? No, it's definitely wizard or mage. A witch?
I feel like the distinction... You are something that creates magic and controls creatures. That's it.
So really, but this is not RPG. Like, we don't have, like, vibes.
No.
But we could.
You could if you want to.
Sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. But
I feel like doing like an RPG style Magic game would be really fun.
I think that would make it take extra long. So maybe I'd rather not do that.
We just gotta let games be games.
Probably.
But it's kind of like with Yu-Gi-Oh! And I always used to want to be my
Valentine.
Oh my god, I loved her.
Oh my god,
that was like my bisexual awakening. Still to this day, my Valentine. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with her.
Yugi. No.
Yugi, but not not
scary Yugi.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like the other one.
No, not baby Yugi.
Yugi's weird. Yeah, I didn't.
Oh no, you know who I liked? I liked Bakura. That's who I liked.
Who was that one?
The white hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That also makes sense for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I thought anybody was attractive except for my Valentine. I was like obsessed with my Valentine. I loved her. She was my very favorite. But I was like in the church. I wasn't supposed to. I don't know how I was getting away with playing Yu-Gi-Oh, for being honest.
So your dad's a weirdo.
Yeah, my dad just liked all of the things he wasn't supposed to like, so that was the vibe. Okay. So I ended up playing a game called Moniker.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. It took a very long time. And also, like, sorry if anybody's listening that played with me. I felt kind of bad because I speak really fast and I'm really good at Taboo. And there's like Taboo
Wait, was this
elements.
the charades thing?
So the first round is Taboo. Everybody puts in like 10 cards and there's 6 people and it's 3 to each team. And then you do a round of Taboo and you go through everybody until the whole deck's gone. So you kind of know like every card in the deck, right?
Okay.
Because it gets harder in round 2 and round 3. So in the first one, it's Taboo. Pretty much you can't say the word, but you can say anything but the word. And on the card, it has like a paragraph description. So if you don't know what it is, you could just read it, whatever.
Okay.
And then the second round, you have to say one word. And you can't say anything else, and you can't act anything else. You just say one word, and then it's like an association game with the cards that you know are in the deck. And then the third round is charades. And you can't say any words, but you can do charades. And then that's how you do it, and then you add up the points. But you know me, and I'm very good with the words. So I do feel that we kind of swept the other team with the words. The charade part, though, was very, very hard. I'm not very good at, like, gesturing. I am very yappy. So I killed it with the taboo. When we got to charades, people were doing charades. I was just looking at them like, what could that possibly be? It was like all the cards in the deck left my brain, and I could not think of. But then we had a teammate, one of my teammates clearly has played this game before, because they were really good at like memorizing all the cards. So then they were trying to like match cards, and they were just like naming cards from the deck, and I was like, smooth brain. I had no idea what cards were still in that deck.
Yeah.
But I really want to play what's that? It's the one with the words. And
there are many games with words.
I know. This one I saw recently at a wedding, and it's like you roll a dice and then you get a letter, and then you have to write down like all these words that all begin with that letter. And you're trying not to...
It just sounds like what we did in middle school.
Yeah, but it's got a name for it. I was looking for it at the board game bar, which is called No Land Beyond. It was very fun. It was such a cool space. And they didn't have it. And then I thought about ordering it online because I want to play it so bad. But now, today, I've forgotten the name of it. This is terrible. But it seems fun. I really like word association games.
I like strategy games.
I used to really like, what's that one where it's got
Scrabble?
Catchphrase? Catchphrase. Oh, no, I also love Scrabble.
I didn't play Catchphrase.
Did you play Scrabble?
Yes. Has anybody not played Scrabble?
I don't know. My mom was like really into Scrabble. So we were big Scrabble people at my house. We also played this very interesting board game called 1313 Dead End Drive. You ever play that?
Nope.
Oh my God, I was obsessed with it. It's kind of a murder mystery, but it was like a gothic murder mystery.
Baby bat. All right, I'll let you out.
Bye, kitty cat.
Like Mysterium?
I've never played Mysterium.
We should play sometime. I think you'd like it. You're a ghost, and you have to help everybody psychically find out who murdered you.
Oh, that's actually so fun.
Or you get to be a psychic.
It's kind of like Mafia, and there's another game that's kind of like Mafia that you can play with a big group of people, but I don't remember what
Werewolf?
the name is. Yeah, I think it's Werewolf. Yeah, I enjoyed Mafia the game.
I like Mafia.
I think it's fun. I used to be pretty good at games where you have to like bluff people into thinking that you're like trustworthy or not trustworthy, though I don't know which one I'm better at. I think I'm okay at both, but I used to be pretty good at it, like, in the past. Did you ever play Ninja?
No.
Oh my God, that was like... It's that... Okay, but it's like a body game. Like, you're trying to, like... You, like, do a strike, and you're trying to hit the other person's hand.
No.
Oh. It was... I feel like it was a convention thing, so I thought you might know about it, but I used to play Ninja. I really liked Fruit Ninja.
I don't like
on
touching
my phone.
people.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, the point is to not get touched. And it's sort of like Twister, because like if you get stuck at a weird angle, like you're stuck there till the next person moves.
I especially would not have liked that then.
Oh, I was really into that game. It was very fun. I like to win.
We used to play lap tag in college.
What is that?
I was less touch averse in college.
Lap tag? Mm-hmm. What is that?
You get a group of people, sit in a circle, everyone has a partner, right? So like one person sits in front, one person sits in the back, and then there's one person in the middle. And the person in the middle will point at like two people or two pairs or three pairs or whatever, and the person who's in front has to try to tag the person in the middle, and then they get to be the person in the middle, but the person behind them has to prevent them from touching the person.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's like a wrestling game basically.
Okay, that sounds horrifying.
It was a lot of fun. I don't think I'd want to play it
I don't
now.
know why that's like my worst nightmare. I feel like I don't like that. And I will say that when I was younger, I was like very, very, like so competitive that one year at homecoming, they always played, I went to Christian school. They always played musical chairs at homecoming. Like that was a good idea. And I was like so competitive that I got into like a wrestling match with this other kid and my dress like tore in half. It was crazy.
I need someone in the face once.
During
lap
musical
tag.
chairs?
No, during
lap
lap tag.
tag. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like can't imagine that.
It was fun in college. I feel like it's a very college game. Like I don't think that I would.
I played Civilization in college, so I feel I was like the opposite end of the spectrum of like what I thought was a fun game. I also played Portal in college, and I played like all of the Mass Effect games and all of the Halo games in college.
Played a lot of Smash.
I don't play. I was in the Super Smash Bros. Club. I think I told you this, that I played Palutena and a girl had to be like removed by security.
Yeah, because I had the boyfriend who he organized all the Smash tournaments and stuff.
I'll tell the audience, when I was in college, I've already told Minji this story, but you guys might find it interesting. I went to the Maryland Art Institute and they had a Smash Bros. Club in one of those big lecture halls with like the huge screens. It was super fun, but I play defensively. And so I just try to stay alive and I hit people when they're sort of like landing or whatever. I think it's strategic, but people didn't like that. And there was this one girl and I played Palutena, who's not very popular. I feel like I feel
like that's also how you have to play Peach. So
yeah. And I felt like she's not very strong. Like her moves take you like off the edge, especially if you're playing one where you like fall off the edge or whatever. And so, I had to be calculated with what I was doing, and I thought that was the point of the game. But this girl got really angry and she started screaming. She like got up because nobody knows who you are, right? Like you're just your character. And when it starts out, there's like 20 people on the screen. And then she kept losing to me at the very end.
We did brackets.
Yeah, ours was like, it would be like a big group of people, but I just don't think that there was like enough people. I mean, maybe sometimes it was brackets. I really remember this one time because she got up, she was like in the front row and I was back with like my friends at the time were all playing and I like won and I had like gotten her out and she got up screaming. She's like, I'm gonna hurt you. Like whatever. I don't know what she was saying. She was threatening to harm me and she was like, who the fuck is Palutena? And like going on and on and on and on. And they had to call security, and I was just sitting there like, it wasn't me, but it is me. I am Palutena. And I was like, this is so bad. And anyway, she had like really severe anger issues, and then she got kicked out of the club. She was never allowed to come back. And like security had to like remove her from the club. She got really, really mad. I was like, it's just a game. But I don't know. Maybe it was not just a game to her, but it was just a game to me.
Yeah, I've never really been the get mad at a video game kind of person.
Me either. No, if I was, it would be a hard life for me because we play Mario Kart a lot and I have never beat Jack. And sometimes we'll play like 40 games in a night. I've never beat him once.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for a while, like we would do that for date night. We just play like Mario Kart all night long. And I'm telling you, I've never, ever, ever beaten him. He is so good.
I'm okay at Mario Kart.
He's like weirdly good at Mario Kart.
I haven't played it in a really long time.
Yeah, we'll have to play it. It's fun. I enjoy racing games. I
care less about racing games. I like Mario Party a lot.
Do you remember, this would have been in the early 2000s, Burger King, as the toys in their Happy Meals, released a line of video games? Do you know what?
No, I never ate at Burger King as a kid.
So I ate at Burger King all the time because when I was the Yu-Gi-Oh jeweler, I would go with my dad to this game shop and it was directly next door to a Burger King and he wouldn't want to leave, so he would just give me money and like send me to the Burger King. But they had, and I don't know if they were like $5 for purchase or if they came in the Happy Meals, but they came from the Burger King with the food. And it was a racing game and you were the Burger King like on a motorbike. And it was so crazy. And it was on Xbox. It was like my favorite game in the whole world. And I used to play it all the time. It was like BMX Burger King bikes.
That's interesting. We had Gran Turismo because I think it came with the thing.
What is that one?
It's a racing game. But
okay.
I don't know. I don't really care for racing games.
Did you play
that much.
Twisted Metal? Because that was my jam.
I really liked... What did I play? I played the Monster Hunter game, I think.
I don't know that one.
Maybe it's not Monster Hunter. It was Monster something. You like train a monster and then you fight tournaments with it. Okay. And that's pretty much it. And it's cute. It's like a very cute game.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Okay.
I liked
there was a Harry Potter
game.
video game? Mm-hmm. Oh, never knew that. I never played it.
What was the other one? There's like a steampunk game that I really liked.
Huh.
I can't remember it.
Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Well, not that that's the steampunk. Did you also play Kingdom Hearts?
I only played Kingdom Hearts on Game Boy.
Yeah, me too. I played Kingdom Hearts on Game Boy. I played Final Fantasy.
Bother me.
I really liked Final Fantasy. I just like the story, but sometimes the action would make me anxious. That's why I kind of can't play video games now.
Yeah.
Because I prefer games like Skyrim or Final Fantasy, but the fighting is like too much for me. So I have a hard time with that. My favorite one when I was really little it was called Dream Life. Do you remember Dream Life?
No.
So it was like a plug-in system. It was not a game you could buy for a system. It was a plug-in system with like a little remote, and you built like an avatar, and you lived in this world, and you got like a boyfriend, and you go to the mall, and you get a job, and you'd have a closet, you could decorate your room, and you would like live your dream life, and it was so cool. I feel like, I don't know, I still think back on it. It had the worst graphics. It was terrible. It was like akin to playing a computer game, which I did also love. Like a little the Claire's Get Dressed With Me one. Oh my god, that was so good. They had a My Scene one that was cool, Bratz doll one. Like, I just loved a Barbie computer game. Oh my god, the ones you could get like on the web.
Ephemeral Fantasia was one that I really liked.
What does that look like? Huh?
It's
I have
cute.
never played that.
This is not the one I was thinking of, though.
It's
But
fun.
this one's also good.
Man, you played a lot of niche games. I mean, to be fair, my Burger King one's a niche pool.
Yeah, that's
Like
kind of weird.
That's like a super niche pool. I feel like I wonder if we can put these into, like, clip them into the podcast.
That'll be Micah's job.
Like, look how frightening he was.
Oh, no, I do remember that.
Sneak King.
Oh, okay,
They had
no.
Sneak
We did
King?
have one of those.
They had the racing one. This was so fun. I had this one, Pocket Bike Racer. And
that one.
Weapon.
We
I
had
had
this one.
all of these. I loved them.
No, we only had that one.
He was frightening.
He's scary. I don't like him.
Sneak King was also like a really crazy one. You know which one I didn't like and I struggled a lot with when I was a kid was Viva Pinata, because you would play it and no matter what, no matter how well you took care of that island, the crazy people from the woods would come out and like eat your pinatas, and it was very
I
scary.
think that was not my age bracket.
Oh, well, Viva Pinata was a horror game, in my opinion. It was sort of like Animal Crossing. You had this island you were taking care of, and you had all these little pinata pets, and then these scary entities from the woods would come out, and you'd just find your pinatas like in pieces with candy all over the ground. They would have eaten your pinata.
Oh, God.
Oh my god, it was horrifying. It was so scary.
The game that I was thinking of is called Dark Cloud 2.
Oh my gosh, these are so niche. I've never seen
They're not that
these.
niche. I bet other people
What?
have played them before. But they're
If
really
you've
cute.
played Dark Cloud 2, you can let us know. Or Sneak King or Burger King with the Pocket Bike Racers.
It was really cute. You like collect ores and
does look cute.
make little machineries.
Yeah.
And there was one where you
I
like
think
have
we
to
both played
train
Harvest
up.
Moon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I liked Harvest Moon. That was
I think right now, if I was going to pick up a game again.
Monster Rancher. That's the game, not Monster Hunter.
Oh, Monster Rancher. Okay.
That makes more
I
sense.
played this very frightening game called, I think it was called House of the Dead 3. And it came with the remote was a gun.
Yeah, it's in the arcades. They still have those.
Okay, well, I had it at my house. And there's this one where you're in this circle cage and there's a sloth and he's coming after you. You got to shoot him in the hands. He was really frightening. I don't know. He was so scary. I don't know how I ended up playing those scary games when I was a kid because I can't handle horror
I don't know.
at all.
I didn't play scary games. Like,
Yeah. Like even whatchamacallit? Backrooms. I'm switching into the next thing. But like I have such a hard time with horror, and I know we kind of talked about how scary Backrooms was in the last episode, but now that it's out and people are watching it, it's so funny because I see people who I guess are horror buffs like posting, oh, it's not that scary. And I'm like,
I thought it was very scary.
was
And I
really
like horror
scary.
movies.
Yeah. And I guess some people, maybe it's just not their brand of what scares them. Like maybe they're not affected by it as much.
So like people's phobias, fears, abandonment issues kind of stuff affects like what kind of horror movies really bother them.
Yeah.
Because like zombie movies don't bother me.
Oh, and I hate
like,
zombie movies.
Zombies as a concept potentially existing really bothers me. But
Okay.
the movies themselves don't bother me.
That's funny
which
because
is
I think zombies
weird.
in any form, in any media, makes it so I don't like the movie. I don't like zombies at all. I don't like to watch them, and I'm not interested. But I was raised like so Christian, and I feel like Jesus Rising from the Dead is sort of zombie adjacent. So maybe there's just an aversion to like anything
I
that's
just
sort of
feel
in
like
that
zombie
vibe.
movies are also sad. So
They are usually always sad.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I
like
used
that.
to. What's that one with Will Smith? I Am Legend. I know that's
seen that
not
one.
true. It's not true zombies, but I used to really like that
Have
movie
you
a
seen
lot.
Train to Busan?
I have seen it once a
The
long
most
time ago.
depressing movie I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah, like zombie movies are just really.
That one's also Korean,
So
though.
sad. So sad.
Exorcism movies scare me. Those
Mm-hmm. They
ones
scare me
really
too.
scare me. Psychological thrillers don't scare me.
Not at all?
I don't find, not really.
Like, what's that one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, Skull.
Skull Island or
I
whatever?
haven't seen it, but I do know the premise.
What about, like, Haunting of Hill House? Did you find that scary?
Not really. It was it's scarier than psychological horror.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I hate horror. And apart from the couple jump scares, which after I watched it the first time, I can kind of close my eyes and not see those. I don't really like just the jump scare thing that they do. But the story is so amazing. It doesn't really scare me as much as it just like fascinates me.
Yeah.
And I really go down the rabbit hole with those. I really want them to make another one because I felt that Haunting of Hill House is one of the best TV shows, I think, like anthologies I've ever seen, if not the best. I don't know that I can think off the top of my head of one I like better. And then I so enjoyed Blythe Manor, Haunting of Blythe Manor. But I really, really didn't like Fall of the House of Usher. And I really didn't like the one that's getting a second season.
I don't know.
The vampire one.
I haven't watched it.
Whatever that one's called. It's like one word, and it was the first one.
You know, I found Squid Game scarier than
I haven't been able to watch Squid Game because I think it's freaky.
It's freaky, it's depressing, and it's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's very stressful.
Yeah. I feel like it's like super violent sort of vibes like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I liked Hunger Games. Hunger Games didn't scare me, but now that we're getting into where we are in the world, Hunger Games is starting to look a little bit more realistic here.
Oh, it's been like that.
It wasn't like that when I was younger watching the movies.
I read it
that's
in
crazy.
college, and I felt like it was...
Yeah, I'm younger than you, so it's
there.
like it's just a different... I think I was in a different place in my life.
Yeah. I mean, they came out definitely before I started college, but that was when the movies were coming out, so I decided to read all of them. I didn't actually... I read the first one, but I didn't read the rest of them until like last year. I decided to read through them, though I still need to read Sunrise on the Reaping. They're depressing.
I am trying to determine if I
yet.
want to read it before the movie.
I want to.
Yeah.
Even if it makes the movie worse.
I feel like I read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes before the movie.
Yeah.
Hated the movie. Couldn't even get through the movie.
I
because
feel
of how
like
untrue to the book it was.
I think that it was very true to the book, except that they didn't include his internal monologue.
Yeah, which makes it not true to the book.
But I think, okay, the sequence of events and everything that happens is extremely true to the book. They were very faithful in that regard, but all of the context is missing because they didn't include his inner monologue.
And it's like so important to the story, I think, when you're reading it, because it is really the like evolution of a psychopath. And so it's like every single thing he does, even if on the outside it looks normal or it looks sympathetic, it's not
always
in his
very
head.
calculated, and like it's not,
or it's usually not led. You know, when you're watching the actor do it, it feels like, oh, well, you can reasonably read in that if he's helping this person, then he likes him or he feels some type of way. Yeah. Even if it was acted in a way where you can kind of tell he's trying to get ahead, like in his mind, in the book, I mean, it is so like, I hate this
everybody.
guy. He's like, I hate this person, but this is my best chance. So I'm going to suck it up and pretend I like them and smile and like do this thing. And it's so calculated. And I just feel that we needed that in some way. And I mean, I'm not saying, I don't know how they could have done that. I don't know if like voiceover or
I feel like even having a monologue would have
inner
been
monologue would have been better.
Not, because it just doesn't make sense without it.
No. And I don't know, maybe they tried that and it didn't work or something.
I would rather have a movie that's kind of cheesy and shitty than a movie that is shitty because it makes no sense. Or
like maybe he could have journaled or something where it would have been like he's having these moments outside of the scenes where he's being honest with his journal and we're hearing about it as a voiceover. Like he's getting ready in the morning and it's like journal, like this day, this is what I did.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That probably would have narratively helped
I feel
with the
like
story.
Even talking to, like, it wouldn't have been as faithful, but even if he was like saying these shitty things about how he hates everybody to Tigris, like that would have made more sense because like she's obviously on his side because they're growing up together.
Yeah.
And she's a much nicer person, but I feel like she would have been like, oh, well, that sucks. You think that, rather than like if he told anybody else who would be like, oh, you're a fucking crazy person.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I agree with that.
I feel like there are
like
different
their
devices
grandmother in the book is like, she's kind of losing it.
And she's horrible.
Yeah, but she's like, she has like dementia in the book, essentially. Yeah. And so it's like he could have been telling her and she's forgetting things.
Yeah, that's true.
That would have been another thing, like a way to that he's getting it out, but then she's not remembering it ever. But then even having these nods where like at one point, maybe she like acknowledges that she does remember and she's enjoying it. Like it's just an added thing to like how bad she is. That would have worked too. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to Sunrise on the Reaping. I think the casting's pretty good, and like I am looking forward to that.
Effie is so good. I'm so excited for her.
I think that's going to be really good. I'm very excited to see it, but I think I might watch the movie before I read the book because then I will not feel disappointed. I have really bad book disappointment, and I think, do you have that? Like, do you feel like extreme disappointment when you read a book and you like it and then you watch the movie? Or do you just feel like they're two separate medias and it doesn't bother you?
I always view the movies as like fan fiction.
Oh, interesting.
So like I don't really care if the movies suck because the book is the canon.
Okay. I don't think I feel that way. Like,
I mean, like I prefer they don't suck.
Sure. I just think that like it affects me sometimes. Like it's hard for me to enjoy the movie if it's not true to the book. But if I see the movie first, I can enjoy the book and be like, oh, wow, this wasn't in the movie. That's so cool. Like, I love that there's this surprise in the book. But if it's the opposite, and I've read the book and I feel that they've, like, cut out something important, or the casting's weird, or the way someone delivers a line is weird, then I really struggle with that. And I've always been that way. Like, when I was younger, I think it might be because my first intro to, like, book 2 movie was like Lord of the Rings, and I feel that that's a pretty true adaptation. I know there are things missing, but it was a long book for me to read, so like and I was really young. And
I feel
Narnia.
like Lord of the Rings is not the most faithful. They're like they cut out huge characters.
They did like Tom Bombadil was cut out and stuff.
Combined characters like.
I feel that I did not feel disappointed by Lord of the Rings, and I also didn't feel disappointed by Chronicles of Narnia, which came out when I was 10, and I had read all those books, and I really liked those. But then for my, like, it was my 9th or 10th birthday, it was one of those two. It must have been my 9th birthday, because my 10th birthday I definitely saw Chronicles of Narnia. I used to do movie theater birthdays. That was, like, a big thing in my family. But we, they still do movie theater parties. I don't know. My parents are very into the movie theater, but I took my best friends to see A Series of Unfortunate Events, which was my favorite book series.
Oh, yeah, that movie was
And
trash.
it was horrible, and I cried the entire time. And it was very embarrassing, too, because it was, like, in front of all my cool friends, and I had this, like, cool movie theater birthday. I was like, we're gonna go see A Series of Unfortunate Events, and this is so awesome. And then I literally I could not contain myself. Like, I had a meltdown after that movie because it was so not true to the books, and it was, like, so disappointing.
Did you like the TV series?
Not really. I mean, I watched it, but I think that I'm so scarred from the movie that it was just hard. It wasn't unfaithful or whatever. I thought
the TV series was really good.
Yeah, it was okay. Like, it was fine.
It gave me the same disappointment in life as the books.
Yeah. I was addicted to those books. They were like my favorite things when I was younger. I loved A Series of Unfortunate Events. But yeah, I don't know. I really like the movies. I like going to the movies. I don't know. I guess my parents used to always take us to the movies. And dates. I always went on dates to the movies.
I have no strong attachment to the movie theater.
Makes sense. I like the popcorn, too, and you don't like the popcorn. I love movie theater popcorn.
I will say movie theaters have, like, vastly improved since they converted all the seating to the recliners. I used to hate going to the movie theater, actually.
I do think one of the differences between you and me is just, like, you weren't raised in sort of, like, a cult, and I feel that I was raised in a cult, so it's, like, there were just so many rules, and there were very few places that I could be free or get away with anything. And because my parents are like such movie buffs, they were very willing to like drop me off at the movies and pick me up. And then I'd have like 2 hours of being at the movie theater. You know, even if I'm just watching a movie, it's freedom that I just didn't have at home.
Yeah, I had pretty absent parents.
Yeah.
So.
I had helicopter parents. So it was helicopter and absent. I don't even know how to describe it other than it's both of those things at the same time.
My mom once took a vacation to Australia for 3 weeks and left us at home.
That's crazy.
When I was in high school, I think. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened to me.
I could drive at that point, so like I got myself
One
places.
time my parents went out of town for a single day to go to like a marriage retreat or something, and they decided I was like responsible enough to watch the house, and I threw like a massive party. It was the only party I ever attended really in high school or through, and I got very high on edibles. I almost burned down the house because I put water into a smoking pan of oil.
Oh my God.
And there was like a mushroom cloud, and then I lost my virginity that night, and all sorts of crazy
You were
things.
very efficient.
We had like a 6-foot ice bong. And then my parents, they came home the next day and I had gotten everybody out of there, like kicked my then boyfriend or whatever out, like whatever happened. Everybody's gone. Everything's cleaned up. But I had to use copious amounts of like Febreze.
Yeah.
So because the house smelled so bad. And my dad like goes down in the basement, which is where we had been partying. And he comes up and he's like, Sarah, I know what happened. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, you think you're smart. And I was like, here I am thinking like, I literally had 30 people over. I like did edibles. Like I'm out of it. I'm hungover. It's terrible. And he goes, you accidentally left the basement door open. You let the dog go down there, right? Because that's why it smells like Febreze. He must have like gone to the bathroom in the house. I was like, you caught me. You got me.
Oh my God.
I feel that I'm so lawful good. I'm so rule following that my parents just never suspected that I would ever do that.
Yeah.
But I was dying to do it. Like, you know what I mean?
So
this is
funny.
the only
It's
time
like
I was ever left home alone.
a really good example of like what happens when you control your kids too much.
Yeah.
It's like my mom left for 3 weeks and I was like, I was going to work every day. I was just chilling. Like I had friends over, but like we didn't party. We were just like watching movies and hanging out.
Literally, there is nobody crazier than a church kid that has like one teeny tiny day of freedom. The things that people were doing in like at youth group, and, like if they had like a backyard party, the things that you would hear of that was going on like in the parking lot of that backyard party were like crazy. The things that would happen because everybody's just so repressed and you're like not allowed to do anything. But a lot of people who are in the church, like it's the craziest thing. Like, so I have, my best friend, Lauren, the accountant, and I just want to say accountants are not wild, crazy people.
Is she going to be okay that you're
She
saying
will.
this? Okay.
Lauren is like my most responsible, reliable friend. I have never met a person who was like, she was like 50 years old at 10. Like she has always wanted to be an accountant. She's very studious. She's never broken a rule. She's the most like law abiding person I've ever met. But she went to public school and my dad was like, she's a heathen. She's wild and crazy. And then he would send me to church and I'd be able to hang out with these people at church and like, these people were so bad because just because they're at church doesn't mean it doesn't mean that they're like believers or that they're like living a Christian life. Like actually a lot of people go to church because like things are so bad.
Yeah.
But like, and also kids are just brought to church by parents. Like,
so
you just have a random group of people who have been brought to church for like whatever reason. And my dad would just be like, they're from church. You can do whatever you want. Those people were crazy people. And he'd be like, give me the 10th degree about 9th degree. I don't know what it is. He would just be going so hard about how I couldn't hang out with my friend Lauren because she went to public school and she was going to make me a bad person. Meanwhile, like, first of all, I just need to let you know there's a lot of gay people hanging out in the youth group at the church. There's a lot of bi-curious people. And a lot of sex happening on church grounds. Like this stuff was so crazy. And that was not happening. Like hanging out with Lauren, I feel like we were like watching Lizzie McGuire. It was just, it was a different life. So. Yeah,
my parents stopped making me go to church after I was like 8.
8 years old.
So.
I had to go to church every single Sunday and it was a rule. But one time I went to Catholic church and then I got in trouble. I got grounded.
We had mass every Wednesday.
Okay, mass. I had church
basically was just like an exercise in zoning out for an hour.
Not me. I was like, I had to be involved in everything. The flashbacks. I'm like, it's terrible. Every time I think about that time,
participate, but like, I don't know. They would choose 2 people to like be the whatever what are they called?
I wouldn't know because we don't have those.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so like in the Christian church, there's the pastor and he has like deacons appointed and everybody else is just like a minion in the seats.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, we have, well, I'm not Catholic, but we had a priest and then there were the like, altar boys.
Altar boys, okay.
The scandal. We could also have altar girls in our school.
Okay.
But like they would pick 2 people every Wednesday to be the altar people.
And sometimes you were an altar person?
No.
Never.
No.
You were never an altar person. Was your brother an altar person?
No.
Never chosen. Poor Millie. Just kidding.
I had an attitude as a kid, so.
You have an attitude as an adult.
I was worse then. So they would have like participation for that. Sometimes they would have one kid come up and like read part of the sermon And then
Sure.
we had
That's so weird. That's so not
students who
allowed.
would
in
like
the
give
church I
out
grew
the
up.
host and stuff. Oh, the altar people would
Okay.
do that. And then
They had ushers. My dad was an usher for a long
We
time. They gave
also
out like
had ushers, I
like
think.
programs or something like that where you take down notes
Yeah.
from the sermon.
Oh, no, we
You
didn't-
don't do that?
no.
It's like follow along lecture style, and there's like fill in the blanks.
No.
And there's a big PowerPoint, and then they like preach the word of God, and it'll be like, Jesus is, and then it's like P, and it's like powerful, persistent, patient. And like, yeah, they come up with like these gimmicks. To be fair, I need to say this. The evangelical church specifically is run by like people who are essentially grifting
Yeah.
people for money. And so what you do is if you're in the church, you can look this up and you can also just start paying attention. But what'll happen is they will do like something that pulls on your heartstrings and gets people to attend the church. Then there will be a bunch of sermons about belonging, and then there will be a bunch of sermons about sacrifice. And then it'll go into like an 8-week long sermon about giving, and they'll have some sort of fundraising goal. And then everybody gives a ton of money, and they'll be like building up like this fundraising thing, and then something tangible will happen. There's some sort of like, oh, we all did this together,
they
whatever.
just read straight from the Bible.
No.
Like-
And then it goes back in. It's a funnel and it goes around. And so every week you're participating by having like a monogram or something. Like there's something up there and then you're like trying to pay, or like sometimes it's a crossword or like whatever. And people are like writing it along with like these little pencils in the pews.
Interesting.
Very strange.
No, so we had mass every Wednesday, and we like the teachers would go with us. We had to do all the like kneeling and standing and kneeling and
Oh,
standing.
right.
and,
Because
like,
you guys have
singing
the
and
little
everything.
things that pop out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't kneel. But people did speak in tongues and you can like raise your
That's weird.
hands and like be like, like in
And then we also, I think like every
Sorry,
other week,
I
or
don't
like
wanna- I'm like making fun of people. It was a very jarring thing because my home church, like I was raised in the Southern Baptist Church specifically, and you don't speak in tongues in the Southern Baptist Church.
Yeah.
But because I was allowed to go to church activities, sometimes I would be invited to like other evangelical churches where people
Like the
would
Pentecostals?
speak. Yeah, Pentecostals especially. There was a Pentecostal youth group that all the cute boys went to, so I wanted to go to that one. But then like all of the teenagers were speaking in tongues, like lying on the ground, crying. Like I've had people had to be like taken out of church because they're like acting like they're possessed. Like
Oh my God.
it was crazy town nonsense. Like yeah, and I would always be too afraid. But then I literally there was this one time I liked this boy. He invited me to that youth group. Everybody's speaking in tongues, and they're all like they would put their hands up and they're singing with their hands like to the sky. And I was raised Baptist, and you don't do that in the Baptist church. Like Baptist church is very authoritarian and like it's very like repressed, and you're supposed to be very quiet and like follow all the rules. And so I like was not used to that. And I remember he like broke things off with me because he said I wasn't spiritual enough because I didn't raise my hands while I was singing. And I was like,
oh
but
boy.
it made me so uncomfortable. I was like, am I supposed to do this? Like if I don't feel led by the Lord? I don't know.
Everyone just kind of treated singing as like a very pick-me activity, like who could sing the nicest and the loudest and
I
kind
mean,
of shit.
it was very, so there were songs and me and the girls that I was friends with, we would make up refrains that would go on top of the songs. And then while the whole church was singing, we'd be like in a section, like singing this, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, so bad. Look, I don't know. We had nothing to live for back then.
Oh my
that
God.
was the vibe.
No.
So
This
like you
is-
would sing the song and we would like make up these second parts or like harmonies,
Yeah.
and we'd be singing them from like the side of the church. And then they
No.
did have to have like an intervention with us, and they told us we weren't allowed to do that. What they did was they built like a mega church. They had like this big mega church, and they turned what was the old church into like a church for my friend group's age group, and then we were allowed to lead the worship there, and then it got us out of the big one because we were
Yeah,
so
no, we did not
disruptive.
do anything like that. We had confession like every other week or like every month.
Yeah.
Where we had to, we all had rosaries. We had like school.
Oh, you had to pray
given
on the rosaries?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I bought a rosary on my class trip to Venice. I went to a glassblower and I got like a rosary, and I remember getting in trouble for buying the rosary on the trip because they said it was sacrilegious because
Catholics are
Catholics aren't
heathens.
really. Yeah, Catholics are all going to hell.
I don't know. I feel like Catholics are the most fun
It's just crazy.
denomination of Christianity.
I just don't understand.
Definitely
it's
the
so
most
convoluted.
metal. Like we get all the cool decorations.
The saints,
The-
the mummified saints.
Yeah, the saints drinking blood.
Dead relic.
Like
relics of people's bodies.
Catholicism's
little, like,
definitely
fingers.
the most aesthetic.
Yeah, yeah. I would agree with that. I think the rosaries, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
We have like
All
big,
the horror
big
movies,
wooden cross on
all the horror movies are Catholicism. Like
yeah. Possession.
exorcism of Emily
Yeah,
Rose.
there's no exorcisms in the Baptist church. They're not doing
What?
exorcisms. No, that's a Catholic Church thing.
Oh.
Because I don't think that, I could be wrong about this. I don't know if the Baptist Church believes in possession in the same way that like Catholic churches do. Like that it's happening today.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? I think they believe that you can like become possessed by the spirit of the devil, like that the devil's working in the world, which is also some bullshit, not real. It's okay. It's fine. It's like, I don't know, like heaven and hell have only existed for like 500 years. They didn't even exist for like the first like couple thousand years that the Bible was out. I watch a lot of ex-evangelical things in my dismantling of the system I was raised in, and the amount of things that I spent my life in fear of, thinking that they were real, but also thinking that there was like biblical proof for them, and then finding out that they were like Victorian era lies. Like the Rapture did not exist until the 1800s.
The Rapture is the funniest fucking thing, though. Like, hilarious. I'm glad someone came up with it.
Dude, Minji,
so freaking funny.
I legitimately lived my life in fear that that everybody was going to be raptured and I'd be left behind with like giant horse-sized dragonfly, scorpion monsters like stinging me, and I'd be laying in the street and I wouldn't be dying.
Is that what happens with
That's
the Rapture?
part of it. So there's like everybody gets raptured up in an instant, and the planes are crashing and the cars are crashing. It's terrible. Okay, we've got that, right?
Yeah.
And then you're left behind. Well, so then people start being like, that ain't real. They're gone and good riddance, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So then God sends like these prophets who are performing miracles and like breathing fire, like these crazy people who are like,
Okay,
they come. There's two of them, I believe. And they like walk through the streets of Jerusalem, and then everybody like murders them and leaves their bodies in the street to like be eaten by birds or something.
Okay.
And I think they get brought back to life, and then they're like, you guys are all gonna die. Failed the test, yeah. And then everybody's like, whoa, God's really real. This is bad. And then all of these things start happening, like horse-sized insects with like stingers come down and they'll sting you, right? And you're like immobile and you want to die, but nobody can die. So like if you try to kill yourself, you can't die. You'll just be like horribly maimed. You're not dying. Nobody can die. And it's like a curse. And then like the gates of heaven are closed. So like you can't die. And you're just, if you maim yourself, you're just like a pile of goo maimed. It's really bad. I don't understand that. Cause like, what if you burned, right? Would you just be like living ashes? That's weird. In my mind though, they would always describe, right,
so, like,
that
the environment just doesn't support.
Well, I think they're talking about like, okay, you're gonna like jump off a building and you're in pain, but you don't die. Or like you drown, but you're just down there. You don't die. It's giving Twilight vampires.
Oh my God. No, wait, no, it's like Sarah Mass's gigantic book where she's got like
Crescent City?
one of the angels gets put in the Mariana.
Oh, right. You're right. Yes, kind of like that. And that's what they're talking about, is it's like that. And you just go on. And anyways, it was so frightening when I'm a little kid being told that like, also they said, if you haven't accepted Jesus into your life, you could be 5 years old, right? If you're not a true believer at 5 years old and the rapture happens, you're getting left behind. At 5, there's no one to take care of you, and you're not going to heaven because you didn't really accept Jesus.
Yeah. We didn't have anything.
And it's like, I can't cook, I can't clean, I can't drive. There's going to be like roaming bandits that are going to be coming after me. My dad said that like we shouldn't have pets. That was one of the reasons that like I didn't have a pet till I was older, because he was just like, they're all gonna die in the rapture anyways, and like people's dogs are gonna be locked in their house just like starving to death, and then they're gonna eat you if you like if you were left behind, you were a little kid. Honestly, you're gonna get eaten by your dog.
You turned out as normal as you did.
I only turned out normal because I essentially got like kicked out of my life. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was born weird.
I've always been very rejecting of religion.
I was like rejected. So I was like, yay, I believe all of this and I'm so gung-ho. And I will say the church missed out on an opportunity, because Minji, as we've agreed, I'm like a bona fide Tom Sawyer out here.
Oh yeah,
and
so
I
could be a cult leader.
I could be a cult leader out here. Like
join our cult.
I like to create community, and I feel that I have a lot of things like that, but they would they really didn't like me. And I will say now I understand that when you are trying to build a community of essentially people who all think the same and who don't question, you can't have people that have big personalities like leading that group, because eventually it becomes more about that person's personality or what's happening than it does about the message. And
that's
so
kind of what happens with cults.
yeah. So I think that's what happened was, you know, if they wanted me to sing, the pastor's wife would like bring in clothes for me to wear, and they'd be having me like up with all my hair pulled back and all my makeup off in like an old lady's clothes, singing like in the background in the shadows, because they wanted my voice, but they didn't want me, the person. And it was always like that. And it was the same with my family where, you know, I think my parents wanted me, I think I've told you this, but like I applied to like Cornell on early decision, and I was supposed to go study like anthropology, and I wanted to eventually go into law, and I was going to go into law, and it was going to be this whole thing and maybe be a judge, and like I needed to be involved in politics. And then I had a sit down with my guidance counselor, who I do think was Christian, but she was very liberal in comparison to how I was being raised. And she was sort of like, I think it would be a waste of your potential if you do anything other than something creative. And like, you should just apply, because some of these are free. Like if they're not free, like we can figure out whatever the cost of the application is, but I think you need to do that. So I secretly applied to art school and then got in and then accepted it. And just decided that's where I was going. And then I was like estranged. My mom has been a little bit more supportive and like, but she was still married to my dad at that time. So it was a fight. So I think she was like kind of secretly like, okay, we'll make this work. But unbeknownst to my dad, there was a lot of like secret moving around. And then in that time, my mom and I kind of had a falling out because, you know, she stayed with my dad.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of estranged from them from a little bit. And I think that in that time, and then to be fair, going through all the trauma I went through in art school and then going to therapy really just sort of made it so that I had to unlearn all the cult behavior stuff. But it's weird to think back on, because I was like in love with a person who was literally living in a cult. And I want to say this, like I refer to the type of Christian denomination that I was raised in, because it was Southern Baptist, but my dad specifically followed like Bill Gothard and like Basic Life Principles Baptist Church type teachings, which the Basic Life Principles Baptist Church is the same church that raised the Duggars, and it is
Westboro Baptist.
It's not Westboro Baptist. So Basic Life Principles Baptist Church is a church that essentially there was a cult. It is recognized in America as a cult, and it is a form or a sect of Baptist, Southern Baptist, where children are supposed to be seen and not heard, which is a big thing I heard growing up. And like essentially they exploit children for free labor. So I had a lot of like weird vacations and like camp experiences that were like me doing free labor for churches and stuff, which is very common in this like denomination, but it's very authoritarian. There's a lot of like weird abuse happening. And I just didn't realize that any of that was weird till I was older. But I had a crush or a thing for somebody who was actually living in what they call like a camp community, which is like a Christian community of tiny homes where everybody like eats together in a hall. So that I think is a little bit more culty than even what I was raised in, though technically mine, I guess, was like is legally recognized as a cult. So it's very interesting. I mean, it's just funny to like think back on. I'm very not in a cult now.
Yeah.
So I think that it's funny to have gotten out of that. And I do feel very lucky, but it's still taken, I don't really feel that I fully deconstructed until like a couple years ago. This was the Rapture scare that went around like last year. Yeah, that was the first time that a Rapture scare has gone around. I didn't feel fear. And I thought like, wow, those are some crazy people talking about this stuff. And
yikes.
Yeah. And everybody from my past was posting about it. Like the Rapture's coming. And I was like, it's not, it's made up.
Man, that whole thing was happening. I was like, God, I hope it's real. Please take them.
The people who are selling their cars and like giving away their pets and giving their children away. Do you see that there was a woman that gave away all her children to foster care because she thought they weren't going to heaven and she was going to get raptured up, and she was like, sorry, I gotta make sure you're taken care of, at least I'm being a good person.
God.
Yeah, that was so bad. And it's even crazier seeing it on TikTok now when people are just in religious psychosis and they're posting about it and they're like, oh my gosh. But I understand because I definitely thought that it was coming. Even like when it turned 2012, I remember being afraid that New Year's that something bad was going to happen. Nothing happened. It was totally fine.
Yeah.
But like lots of situations like that when I was younger. My dad was kind of a doomsday prepper
really
too.
Concerned about Y2K, but I was also like,
You were young.
was
You were
9.
younger, or I was only 5, so I was unconcerned.
I
but
was reading a lot of articles.
at 9.
Yeah, like magazine
you
articles.
are that person,
they were
my
magazine
girl.
articles,
I love
not
you.
like
I just love that she's 9
scientific
years old reading a lot about it. Like, oh.
Wait, no. So, like, I was
Sorry,
reading
that's
all
so
these
funny.
articles that were like, these are the different ways that the whole internet and system could go down, and like, this is how we've tried to mitigate it, and all of this. So I like emailed these articles to all my friends, and all my friends were like, "What are you talking about?"
I cannot with you. That's
So-
actually crazy.
Yeah, the science stuff got me.
The science stuff always gets you.
Yeah.
I think even to this day, you're still deep in the science of it all.
Because sometimes it could be real.
Yeah, no, and I think it's better.
COVID.
What's real?
Everyone that I knew was like, "Oh no, it's not going to be a big deal. It's just 2 weeks." I was like, "Yeah,
It's not.
My dad thinks it's going to be like 3 years.
Yeah, so your
then it
dad
was.
is what, an epidemiologist, right?
He trained as an epidemiologist, but he's a psychiatrist.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he studied epidemiology.
Yeah.
My mom worked for the Department of Health. She was the director of the Department of Health at the
Yeah.
time. And I worked at a gym. So I got really, really crazy sick. I don't even I don't know how, but I think that maybe I had left the country and come back or something. Like I was so sick and I had never been so sick in my life. And then Jack got sick and then I went back to work. And then that was 3 weeks before COVID was announced as a thing. So there weren't even like articles going around about it. And I just remember like thinking like, wow, I've never been so sick in my life. And I thought that I had gotten it. I remember now. I caught it from a woman who had been out of the country. And I joined her to the gym and she was sick when I joined her. And then I got sick after her. It was the worst sickness of my life, which I'm assuming it was COVID, but there was no testing back then.
Right.
So it was pre-COVID, the pandemic. So I was managing the gym as one of the managers. And there started being whispers. And I remember this being a point of contention because the gym I worked at was an all women's gym and it actually shut down. Like the pandemic closed it permanently. And I had been talking to them because my mom was like, you need to get prepared and you need to have a backup plan. So I ended up just like watching the signs. As soon as I saw the whispers of the pandemic, I went to my boss and I was like, there are so many ways that we could do something social distancing because like we're going to be the first one shut down. Gyms are going to be high contact, high risk.
Yeah.
Like with movie theaters, we're down. So like we need to have like a plan in place to immediately be able to like switch people's memberships over to like digital videos, live streaming, just like social distancing things that we're going to have to do. And they were like, that's nonsense. We're not doing that. And I was like in these meetings advocating for it
Yeah.
like 3 weeks before the pandemic. I was like, I'm telling you guys, like it's going to shut down. Then I went and I applied to be an Instacart driver because I had this thought of like, if I'm out of a job and I'm on unemployment, what's something that people are going to need if they're high risk and they can't go out.
Yeah.
So I became an Instacart driver when the bonus for getting other people to drive for Instacart was like $1,000 a person.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. I made like $10,000 just
Holy
referring
shit.
people to Instacart in addition to all of the things I did.
That's
I
insane.
thought about it ahead of time. Like as soon as I saw the whispers, I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
need to make myself valuable.
And I was in grad school, so
Yeah.
there was nothing I could really do. But I did start wearing a mask like 3 weeks before.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, I stayed at home mostly other than like wearing a mask and doing groceries. And then I was just at home and then that's how I became like a photographer and a TikToker. Like I started all those things from my house during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Which like I know that other people had it really bad. There were many people that my family knew that passed from COVID. It was a very scary time. But like, yeah, I just think that in general, I don't know. People need to listen because I think that people will
yeah.
just be like, it's not real. And it's like, all the signs are there.
Yep.
We should prepare. Prepare.
And like I'd rather be wrong
yeah.
than and like over prepared than
Underprepared.
yeah.
Like all the people who were going to the groceries and there was like no groceries in the grocery store.
yeah. No.
Okay,
that's silly.
we've had warnings. We had warnings before the mandate to stay in place, guys. Like, I don't know. It's definitely a thing. I do think that's part of what makes us good partners is like I think you're an overly cautious person.
Yes.
And I am I like to be prepared. So I feel that even though maybe our things come from different places,
Yeah.
they're aligned in a nice way.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
helps with events too. I think we both like are extra prepared for anything that could go
Yeah.
wrong. And the amount of people who don't, like, we'll say something and there will be like a plan, but you'll be like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. People will be like, how'd you pivot? Okay, we talked about what if this happened.
Like, what are our options? Like, what are the possible outcomes if something goes bad?
Yeah.
Like, we have the backup money if we, like, need to, like, break that out.
Well, like the last ball where they got the bar order wrong.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
So at our last ball, not shapeshifters, at
Secret
the
Society.
Secret Society ball, we had been talking to them and we had worked with this company for our Halloween event, which was a cash bar. This was not a cash bar. It's an open bar with cash, like cash specialty cocktails. So it was like,
so open beer and wine.
Yeah,
and
open
then,
beer and wine.
They have to pay for their own
Yeah, and that
cocktails.
was part of the email and that was part of everything. But they had kind of, I guess, copied and pasted or used some of our information from the last event we had just done with them. And so somehow it got put into the system as a full cash bar and they were like charging our guests.
Yeah.
And
me.
Yeah.
That's how I found out because I tried to get a beer and they were like, okay, it's going to be this amount. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be that.
No. And then we had to just be like, okay, well, we're just going to pay that and pivot. And, you have to make that. You have to make that in 1 minute. There's no time to like go to the computer and run the numbers. You just have to say, okay, we need to give our guests what we promised our guests, and we're going to figure it out later.
I think it was like an extra like $2,000, $3,000 or something.
Like that.
But we try to like build in that emergency budget
to the ticketing.
Means that we don't get paid.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, if you watched our last episode, we talked a lot about the structuring of the balls and things. And I think that it's nice because I do think that people are coming around to understanding. I think there was a lot more talk about it when, to be fair, like that horrible Bridgerton experience that was like in a convention center, or the balls where it'll just be like folding chairs and music.
Yeah, well, I think that the failure of so many of these things has really brought to light how much it actually costs.
Yeah, and just how hard it is to like navigate and manage community in general. Even with our...
And like be in communication with all of your vendors and the venues and
I'm in a group chat
have to be there.
58 vendors for the July 5th market that I actually had to make a rule. So there is a rule on that one where I ask people to not like have friendship conversations in there.
Yeah.
So I'm just sharing information, but that's even hard. Like we're doing that and we budget it to the exact dollar. So like we need all 58 vendors confirmed and in their places, and we don't have room for people to have extra large booths or whatever because we are paying. I charged each vendor exactly what it cost for us to host that event.
Yeah.
that's so what it
next time
is.
we got to charge a little bit more so that we have cushion.
To be fair, we did, but
we got the wrong
we had to have less
count.
Yeah.
So
if we had outdoor vendors, which we technically might still be able to do and add on an extra hour, which we're deciding on, like that could happen, but we did not advertise that to our vendors, so we can't put anybody outside who's already paid. So it's like we had to just make do with what it was, and then it broke even.
Yeah.
So at least it broke even in that way.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, it's better than being hundreds of dollars in the hole, which has happened to me when I do this by myself.
Yeah.
So
Nope, no more of that.
I'm really bad. I'm bad. The girl math is nowhere near real world math in my head. My girl math is so
It's
bad.
very inaccurate.
Yeah. I unfortunately have been shopping a lot recently for Jack, and like also sometimes for me, but like I've been doing some shopping. I've been having the distinct feeling that my girl math is off. And
yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's okay though. It's okay.
Sarah's supposed to be on a no spend.
But I redid my closet, so I'm turning a bedroom into a closet room. And I've been buying furniture, and then I'll buy like, oh, there's a cool wall sconce or a fun mirror, and everything looks really nice. But I am spending money, so it is what it is. We only got one life, right? That's what I'm saying.
It's true.
You're a little bit better at not buying things than I am.
Yeah,
I would say you've gotten much better. I think when we met, we were like more on par with like getting things a lot. But you're so much better now at like not getting as many. You get things on your travels, but they're still small things. It's like it's enough stuff
like
that fits in a
stocking
suitcase.
Stuff up.
I'm like on Depop every day.
No, I don't.
Yeah. It's a problem. Depop hates to see me coming. Actually, this is such a good segue.
Okay.
Have you heard about the red shoes?
No.
The red shoes in Poshmark.
No.
This is so great. Minji is not on my side of the internet.
Not
and
at all.
I am on I think a popular side of the internet. Minji has like she has like niche things happening that she'll tell me about, but
You get, like,
this is
art
a
lot.
big one.
Okay.
So It's very similar to something that happened to me that you know about, but it's essentially just an issue with Poshmark. And there was this girl. This is like normie news. I'm
like
just letting you know.
Scammy thing?
It's a scammy thing.
Okay.
And I think you're going to enjoy this because also just, it's enjoyable because I think we both sell, you sell on Depop, I sell on Depop, Poshmark, and stuff like that. And it is easy. I want to say Gen Z thinks that it's easy to scam people. And maybe 5 years ago, it kind of was. I did get scammed 5 years ago. And what happened to me, before I get into that story in that one, was that this girl bought a For Love and Lemons dress from me. And it was one that I owned, that I spent money on.
3 years ago. That was like basically when we first met.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
80s Town.
Well, almost 4. We met almost 4 years ago. Wow. So yeah, 4 years ago, just about. I had a girl who bought a For Love and Lemons dress from me, and I shipped it to her, and it was $100. And then she shipped me back a random dress of the same weight, and then lied to Poshmark and said that that's what I had sent her. And there was no way for me to prove that that's not what I had sent because it was the same weight in the package. And she had taken this like fake video of her like opening up the packaging and pretending that this like box that I did not send it in because I sent it in an envelope, that the box was like the real box and whatever. And they sided with her and they gave her a refund, and nothing I could do like could get me my money back. And I got stuck with this like random cheap dress. Terrible. And I was very annoyed because it was just like, who thinks like this? But I get it, and I know that it happens, and I've tried to be, you know, more careful. So essentially, there's a red shoe debacle, and it's bad because it's a girl who, I don't know, no, I will say this, I don't know how young this scammer is.
Okay.
She's a blonde, like, normie-looking girl, like, blonde Barbie, Alabama-looking type girl. And she was graduating either from high school or from college, but, like, she can't be older than 21, and she may only be 18. That I am not sure of. I just know that it was for her graduation.
Okay.
She purchased on Poshmark a pair of designer red shoes. Okay. So they're unworn. They're brand new. Soles, no, not a scuff on the sole. The top, they're like these rhinestone shoes with the little bows. I don't remember. I don't know if they're like Badgley Mishka, but like it's a very popular shoe that people wear for weddings a lot in silver. And they have them in other colors. So they're rhinestoned. Okay. They're pointed toes. They're slingbacks. Okay. I'm painting the picture for you. Okay. She orders these shoes. She's like, I need you to ship them like by tomorrow because I need them for my like graduation. I need this whole thing. The seller's like very accommodating, says yes, does whatever, takes pictures, puts them in the box, ships them off. Then like the next week, the girl messages her and she says like, hey girl, like there are a couple of rhinestones missing. I just feel like for $300, I really thought these were going to be in mint condition. So I'm going to send them back. And she's just like, that's really weird because, like, here are the pictures of me packing them up and the rhinestones aren't missing. And the girl, like, takes a picture of the top of the shoe where the rhinestones are missing. And she's like, okay, well, this is how it arrived to me. So I don't know if it was a packing issue, but that's how it goes. She sends them back and the girl makes a video. And similar to, like, my shoe debacle from last year, she pulls them out. The entire soles are black. So these are tan soles. So they've been worn to death. There are gemstones missing from them being worn. There's foot marks inside the shoe. These were brand new. Brand new when she sent them away. So then she goes back on. She's just like, okay, these have clearly been worn. You're scamming me. This is crazy. The girl's just like, they haven't. I don't know what to tell you. Poshmark sides with the scammer.
What?
Yeah. Takes the girl's $300 and whatever. And then they go back to her and they're just like, just for the inconvenience, we'll offer you a $50 credit. The girl's like, that's not good enough. So she appeals it. She says, this is ridiculous. Can I escalate this? Whatever. The people are like, no, but just for the inconvenience, we'll give you $100 in credit. She goes, okay, she's ruined my shoes. And it was a $300 sale. I want my $300. These shoes are ruined. I can't sell them. They're literally missing their stones, like whatever. Right. If I can sell them for $50, I can sell them for $50. I want the other money, like whatever. Okay. So then she's trying to escalate, like they will not side with her. Yeah, it was so crazy. So then she looks at the other girl, and the girl had used her Instagram handle as her Poshmark closet name. So she goes to the girl's Instagram, and there are just pictures all over of her wearing the shoes. Like, they're in all of her graduation pictures. They're in all the things, the exact same shoes that she's, like, sent back. So she sends that stuff to Poshmark, and is like, I want a refund. Like, here's her wearing the shoes. They say no. They're like, sorry, that doesn't prove anything. So what? She's like, what are you talking about? So then she makes a video and it went viral. We're talking millions of views viral. And then Poshmark is in the DMs, like in the comments being like, we have no idea what this is, but like, we will make it right. So So then,
Social media is like the only way to hold brands accountable.
Oh, I know.
It's
I didn't.
so depressing.
My shoe one did not happen until, and I'll tell that story in a second. My shoe debacle, which was very similar but worse, I must say. I know they weren't designer, but that was an atrocious scam, and they did side with me. Social media, we love you. So Poshmark was in the comments. So then it gets crazier.
Oh no.
The mother of the girl starts emailing and messaging this lady because the video is going viral with pictures of her daughter, because she posted the pictures of the as she should, with the shoe proof, whatever. So then this girl is like, everybody knows she's a scammer, and she's so embarrassed. And she's just like, I wasn't really scamming you. Like, I was going to reach out to you to try to repurchase them after I sent them back for the refund, and like, whatever. It didn't make any sense. And her mom's like sending these emails just being like, please tell me where I can send the money to. This is a misunderstanding. Her account's been hacked. And it's like, that's not how that works. Like, so I was going back and forth.
Been hacked with ruined shoes?
That's what I'm saying. Well, because so if you guys have never shopped on Poshmark before, and I don't know, have you ever shopped on Poshmark or sold anything? Okay. So for our viewers who may not be familiar with Poshmark, if you return something, you have to go into the thing, you have to report a problem, then you have to like go through a checklist of what is wrong with it, then you have to upload pictures, then you have to like wait for the seller to respond and then accept or deny their response. Then you escalate it if you still want your refund. Then they send you a label. You have to print the label out at your house, and you have to put that on the box with the item and mail that back, and then have proof of that. So there's like 15 steps that a hacker just simply can't do. Like, just hacking is not
also,
what
like,
happened.
if they are hacking her, where does the money go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're just going to send it back to the other person?
The mom just started, she was trying to find like this girl's email. So she was like stalking all of her, like she found her LinkedIn or something and was like PayPaling her money via LinkedIn to try to like get her to take the video down, because it was like ruining her daughter's life. It was this whole thing. And the woman was like, okay, I'm sending you your money back. I'm not taking this video down. And Poshmark eventually did side with her and give her her money.
Good. That's very
That's
frustrating that had to...
I can't believe, I mean, to be fair, if I sell anything that costs more than like $30, because I feel like $30, if someone scams me out of $30, I'm like, that's some bullshit. And I don't like that, but whatever. If it's like more than $30, I take a picture every single time.
No, that's what I've been doing.
Picture in the box, do the thing, because people will try to scam. I'm going to tell our beautiful, wonderful audience about my scam experience earlier this year, which was horrific. Somebody purchased, it was for Christmas, somebody purchased a pair of shoes, and she had sent me a message on Depop saying, I need these shoes for my daughter. She has the same ones and she needs a new pair. I've been looking for them everywhere. They're like an old pair of Killstar boots from, let's say, like 8 years ago, right? They're not new in the box, but they were new. I had only worn them once. They were 8.5s, so they were just a little too big, and they were platforms, so I didn't want to twist my ankle. You know, I know for a fact I have not worn these shoes. They're in mint condition. I shipped them out to her for Christmas, and then I get like a case opened against me for the shoes, and she sends them back. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, like they're peeling and they're falling apart. And I was like, dang, that's so crazy. Like, you think, I don't know, if somebody's paying for the shoes, they were like, I think I marked it from like $80. Like, they were not inexpensive, but I thought, okay, so maybe because they're not real leather, they might have been peeling or something. No, that's not what happened. I get these shoes back, and it looks like she threw them in like the garbage can and then put them at the dump, and then they rotted for a year, and then she brought them back. The soles were completely coming off. All of the leather was, every single piece of like faux leather was peeling. There was like all the glue in the sole was gone. It was, one of them was in half, like in half. If I had pulled a little bit, the sole would have been completely detached from the shoe. And when I sent these, I'm telling you, they were brand new condition. There was not a scratch on them. Thankfully, I had taken a picture, and I was able to appeal, because at first they sided with her, and then I was able to appeal and go through Depop, and I made a TikTok video, which is like where my bigger following is, and it did blow up, and people took my side. So then Depop reached out and made it right, and it was fine. But that was so crazy. Yeah, I just can't believe, because it was clear that what happened was that girl had like worn hers to death. They were unwearable. They broke. She wanted a new pair, so they just ordered the same pair and then tried to send them back swapped. Like,
I don't understand. Like,
this happens. Okay, I will say, mentality wise, I used to work at Nordstrom. And Nordstrom had a no questions asked return policy. So if you purchased something and you had the same thing and it was broken and you sent it back, like they would process that return. And it did change. It's different now. Like they've changed their return thing.
I feel like it's different when it's a big corporation versus like you buying from someone on Depop.
But you have to think that there are people who for a decade may have been like doing that and their kids might have seen that. So I'm just saying it's like a mentality that gets passed down, this idea that you can like scam businesses. And I think people think of Depop as like a business. Like there's a person on the other side of that. It's so bizarre to me because I can't imagine knowing that something was coming from someone's closet and then just being like, oh, it never showed up and this is bad. Like whatever. Yeah. The only time I've ever had something similar is my very first Selkie dress. I bought it. And then it got lost in the mail, according to the mail. Like, the post office lost it. But eventually it showed up at my door. And they refunded the person. Right. So they gave them their money 100%. And they refunded me because it was lost. But it did come up. And I never did correct that. Because the other person still got paid. I got all my money back. And I said the universe was sending me a free Selkie. And I'm going to take that. You know what I mean? Lucky girl energy. It hurts no one. Once
it's past all of the processing, then it's kind of like... Yeah. All right, well, turned up,
It's like finding free money in a purse at the thrift store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that one time that I found, like, a lot of money in something that I thrifted. Like $1,000.
Oh, my God.
It was in a dress pocket. Wow. Sometimes elderly people will put money in their ugly clothes in their closet because... like a robber's not going to steal the ugly clothes out of their closet. So they put them in like the deep pockets of stuff. And then when their relatives pack all that up, they don't go through it and they just box up all the clothes and send them to the thrift store. So sometimes you can find like a lot of money in things that belong to elderly people at the thrift store. Yeah. Hot take. Hot tip.
Can't say I want to be sticking my hands into random pockets though.
No, I don't feel like that's, to be fair, I would like to live a life where I'm not doing that. I feel that I find things.
The odds that you're going to come out with something really
like
gross.
A tissue, yeah. The tissues are always in there, especially if you like vintage. I found way too many weird, gross.
Like crumbs.
Ew, the crumbs. Yeah, no. like opened mints.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, disgusting.
No.
I hate that. I thought you would enjoy my Poshmark story of the red shoes that's been going around. I've been seeing it all over TikTok as I've been trying to stay off of... Well, I'm on it, like Euphoria TikTok, because it was the series finales today. Have you watched it?
Yeah, we watched it.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it?
I literally hate what in the Americana was that ending. Weird.
Yeah. No, that was
Bizarro World. Also, just... I think I'm still pissed off at the, like, absolute, and this is going to be spoilers, so if you are watching Euphoria and you don't want to know about anything that happens in the last, like, 3 episodes, you can fast forward us 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't like anything that's happened in the past 3 episodes. So I was following pretty much up until, like, the Maddie Meets Alamo episode.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can see some interesting storylines.
Yeah.
It has devolved into like
just
weird
shock.
Sydney Sweeney fetish.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that this is I don't know, like, is Sydney Sweeney for sale and this is a catalog of everything she's willing to do? Because, like, yeah, weird. It's giving Finnick Dare. And then when I'm looking at it, like, Nate's entire character is gone. Why did we get no conversations? Like, he doesn't have any agency. Like, not that I wanted him to, like, necessarily survive or, like, come out of it on top, but just, like, he does nothing except for just sort of, like, be helpless. It's very weird in comparison.
There's, like, no payoff for how deep his character was last time.
I feel that, like, him thinking he's this mastermind and doing all this stuff is what makes him interesting, and to have him be unalived after trying to do that, thinking he's going to get away with it, that would have been cool. Like, that would have been in league with what you're seeing. Jules is a forgotten character.
Yeah,
what happened with that? Very weird.
I feel like if Jules and Nate had been in contact more in the season,
Jules and
that would
Nate
have been really interesting.
Like, if we found out that Nate was Jules' sugar daddy and, like, there was a whole storyline between them, that, I think, would have, like...
That would have been much more interesting.
And more aligned with the whole story. It's so weird. I really didn't like the ending. I get that people had to die.
It's confusing too. Like, the timeline of events is just like when did Alamo get his money back? Because it wasn't in the safe with all the IDs. So, like, did he care about getting the money back? He gave money to Rue. It's very confusing. Did you watch the last episode?
I have watched bits and pieces. I haven't, like, sat down and done the thing. I've been watching clips. I gotta be honest.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm telling you, I've had
confusing.
a very hard time with... Like, I've seen a bunch of clips now, and I'm like, I will eventually maybe sit down and watch this. But I think for me, I just have lost, like, interest in the plot because I think they just have lost the plot.
Yeah, and it's...
And I don't really understand Sam Levinson's direction.
Apparently he sucks as a person.
I mean, like, he definitely sucks as a person. That's why, like, Barbie doesn't work with him anymore. And there's been a lot of controversy with him. But I just think in general, and I'm sure Jacob Elordi and Zendaya were both like, get me out of this project.
Oh, yeah,
so,
definitely.
Their characters' plots, I guess, make sense for that. But it just feels so... I just feel like he's ripping like a Quentin Tarantino film.
Yeah.
Where did the glitter and the... what made Euphoria interesting in the first 2 seasons were these small betrayals between a best friend.
Yeah.
It was the idea of like somebody who's going to school and living a completely mundane life and then having a secret life on the internet. Like these small sort of glamorized real things that happen. Like there are real people who are in college being cam girls. And I know it's like older than high school, but... These are real things that people are taboo.
I think there are probably also high schoolers.
High schoolers probably doing that. I mean, it's technically illegal, but like, you know what I mean? I think that happens.
Stop a lot of people.
It doesn't stop people. I think that there is just a realness that existed in the first 2 seasons.
Like all the mental health stuff with Rue. Like I feel like they kind of just got rid of that. It's like, oh, okay, well now she's fine. She's not really.
They're also writing her as a man. Like they just kind of wrote her as like a lackey man. And then called her a lesbian. And, like, I know that her character is a lesbian, but, like, they got rid of all of the parts of her, I think, that were integral to her journey as a queer person. Like, she just became like, hey, I got the bitches at the club, and I'm going to get the money. And
I feel like at the beginning of the season, when she first meets Alamo, her character is, like, not... Like, her acting like that didn't bother me as much because she's kind of, like, trying to front.
Yeah.
But... Like as it goes on,
but then it felt like she's not fronting. It's just how the
it just
character
kept
is.
Going. Like I felt like with
it was the same with Nate in the honeymoon scene, right?
Yeah.
Like right afterwards, okay, it makes sense that he's scared, that he's having this thing, like he's caught off guard. It's this thing. Where's Nate with the gun? Where's Nate with the gun? Where is Nate who's, like, so calculated that he's, like, breaking into his dad's house and doing all this stuff? Like, Nate is a person who's willing to throw anybody under the bus to make money.
Also, like...
And to get ahead.
Is willing to not only just do it with a gun, but he's willing to get his hands super dirty. And, like, he destroyed that kid's life.
Yeah.
Like...
And it's like him, he's gonna what? He's gonna go stomp on some flowers?
Yeah.
He's going to go stomp on... That's what he's going to do in the face of all of this? I don't think so.
Also, I wonder how much effort it was for them to find somebody who is larger than Jacob Elordi.
Oh, it has to be.
Like, he's already a huge person. Yeah. Like...
And, like, I feel like the sex work stuff made sense for Cassie, but, like, not with the Nate storyline. Like, Nate and her didn't have to end up together. She could have just become an OnlyFans girl and reconnected with Maddie, and Nate's, like, with Jules, and... I don't know.
I feel like them being married makes sense to me because both of them are so desperate for this, like...
But it doesn't... But they didn't use that.
No, they
so
didn't
it's like
at all.
If they used it as like, oh, Nate's married Cassie because it's a beard situation and he's actually with Jules.
Yeah.
That makes sense for the characters.
That would make total sense, especially because then it would be like the loop of his dad and like...
Exactly.
All of this stuff.
But then, instead we don't get that.
Right.
And it's like Cassie, right? Like she is always with people who like leave her and hurt her. But I think that if she found out that he was with Jules or like there was some sort of like, you know, sexuality thing coming into play that caused her to question her sexuality and then become an OnlyFans model because she's like questioning, you know, am I attractive if my husband is like with someone who's trans and like is, you know, or also Nate has very much, it is alluded to that he is gay in some way as well, like in the play and stuff. I think that makes sense. I feel that as a person who, you know, like I feel like as a person who was hypersexualized and had really big boobs when I was younger before my reduction, like I understand that of being like, oh, well, I'll just like make myself sexual because then everybody's going to want me.
Yeah.
That could have been Cassie's thing, but it's literally like Sam Levinson does not understand women.
No.
So
I feel like it was it was almost there. They were so close to it.
He just needed someone else in the writer's room, but he does everything himself. So,
like,
this is what happens when men get too big of an ego.
The doggy video for Cassie. Oh my God. It was horrible,
the Godzilla video
so
with the boobs on the windows.
That was hilarious.
I know, but I'm telling you, fetish weirdos.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's just Sam Levinson's fetish.
The baby outfit?
Who?
Come on.
Okay,
crazy.
So, yes, I think that all of that is all Sam Levinson being a fucking weirdo. But I do think that it is not out of character for what Cassie could have been if Nate was like seeing Jules on the side.
Yes.
And then Maddie's kind of like manipulating Cassie into doing more and more and more weird content, and Cassie's like, but everybody loves me, so it's totally worth me doing these degrading things.
Yeah. But it's like she was doing that before Maddie, and then Maddie was like, that's not it. So it's like, it's weird because it came in and it's like, okay, the pieces were there, the execution was poor. Yeah. I'm just mad because I truly, really enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Euphoria, and I just think that's going to have to be where it ends. I also think that Fez was the most interesting Euphoria character, and it's very sad about Angus Cloud's passing, and I think that this season was never going to be great because of the deletion of his character in general, and like which had to happen. But I just think that, I think that his story arc held everything together in its own weird way. And I think that I
don't know if I feel that way. Like,
you don't feel that way?
Don't.
Like, he's in the Nate one. He's in the Cassie one. He's like at the party. Like, he's always this like thread that's running through. But and he's the kind of the a quiet danger, like a champion.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that like he is interesting, and I just don't think that, like, I feel like all of the violence with Nate could still have happened without Fez. Like, somebody else, like, Jules was very willing to be violent.
Yeah.
I guess not at that point. And then, like, his relationship with Lexi, I found interesting at first, and then not so interesting because...
Well, I don't like... Lexi got no growth, no arc.
No.
And that really sucks because I think Lexi and Fez, their love story would have been very interesting in this season.
I feel like...
I mean, but that's not Sam Levinson's fault, and I do acknowledge that. Yeah. It's just unfortunate that that's the way it rolled out.
What was Sam Levinson's fault is that he, like, weirdly took a conservative turn.
Yes.
And, like, what happened to him? Did he become, like, really conservative
I'm
or
not
something?
certain, but, like, the pushing of the Christian, almost like Christian nationalism, like the last shot with the homeschool family and, like, kind of putting them as the
ideal. Yeah.
I thought that girl was gonna like leave and be like, "Peace out, cult family."
That's also what I thought.
At the beginning, and really to have it like come back as this like,
closure.
Where's the table? The table with Jesus and the family.
Yeah,
and the American flag.
And then that comment that Lexi makes, where like Rue's like, "What do you have against religious people?" And she's like, "They're just so judgmental." And it's like, okay, that was played off for laughs, and that like. Hypocritical liberals, I guess, but it just really fell flat and was like, okay, there was not enough nuance behind that joke to like actually make it feel like anything more than a cheap MAGA joke.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I think that like making Sydney Sweeney almost like the main center of attention in spite of all of her controversies. Like, even though I do feel it was a little bit of a humiliation ritual for her this season, like, I feel like it just, that's the most conservative person in the cast, and that's the central storyline.
Yeah.
So, there we are. I would say highly disappointing. I rarely become, like, obsessed with a show to essentially not finish it. Like, I can't even, like, force myself to watch it right now, which is unfortunate.
I'm trying to think if there was anything that I really liked. I liked Maddie. Maddie looked good.
Yeah, Maddie looked good.
I liked Maddie's character up until the last episode. Yeah. Like, basically
I liked it until Nate in the box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. Maddie sitting there ratting on Rue, she would never do that. She's too calculated. Second of all, I just feel that, like, Maddie's the type of person that she, like, why are we building her up as this person that's showing up 15 minutes early wearing a fur coat, taking fake phone calls, and then she can't think 2 steps ahead when dealing with a guy who clearly runs some sort of, like,
brothel.
Like, seriously. I mean, I know that she's young and she doesn't exactly know what she's getting into, but she knows enough.
Right. I think
She's in Hollywood.
takeaway of Maddie being too young and inexperienced, they did not do it the correct direction. Like, they did it as in, like, oh, she really fucked up and she underestimated this guy, and, like, now everything's going to hell and falling apart. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure. But I feel like if they had done it in a way that that Alamo was not, like, extorting her for over a death.
Yeah, it's
like,
also, let's think about this for a second, which is that Maddie's character has a weakness, right? And that was Nate. She was willing to allow herself to be harmed for this person that she loved.
Yeah.
And it's clear that Alamo maybe is attracted to Maddie. There's, like, some sort of, like, tension. Yes.
Have you seen
I know what he says, yes. But, like, I wouldn't call that love. Like, he's not in love with her.
No, I don't think so either.
So, yeah, like, there's romantic chemistry, but he's much older. Like, there's just, I
don't even know that it's chemistry. I feel like everybody projects this, like, housewife image onto Maddie when, like, that is completely the
and I guess
antithesis of her
so that's what I'm
character.
saying is, like, I don't feel that Maddie was attracted to Alamo and, like, loved Alamo. And I feel that, as we can see with Cassie, Maddie's weakness is the people that she loves.
Yeah.
So therefore, it doesn't make any sense that she would be so green with somebody that she doesn't love.
Yeah.
Because she's willing to be brutal and cutthroat with anyone that isn't the people that she loves.
Yeah.
So therefore, I think that's the part. I'm like, if Alamo had been slightly younger and him and Maddie, it had been more of like, ooh, hey, who are you? Rue, why haven't you introduced me to your friend? Like, this is Alamo, this is Maddie.
Yeah.
And they had chemistry and they were,
It
like,
would've been a
interested
little
in
more
each other.
believable.
Yeah, then it's like, okay, I could see her getting involved with a bad guy who has a lot of power and runs a strip club, and it's like, damn, that's crazy. But, you know, she might be tempted to do that. And then there's, you know, they hook up and they're having this relationship. Then she asks him for money. Then she's betrayed when he says, oh, you think I do this shit for free. But, like, she doesn't do that. And instead, it just becomes this, like, you met this guy twice. Like, he's already shown you when you asked for the girls.
Bad person.
And, like, when you asked for the girls to, like, have time off and he said, no, what do you think this is? Like, I'm not doing anything for free. You know what kind of person this is. So there's no reason for you to be thinking this way. That is so crazy. Like, it's bad writing.
I feel like
bad writing.
They almost had it where it was like Maddie was doing this stupid thing for Cassie.
Yeah.
But they didn't execute it like, I'm trying to think. It ended up feeling less like Maddie was trying to bail Cassie out of a situation because she really cares about Cassie, and more that, like, she was doing it, like, halfway for herself. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't make that much sense.
And it didn't make sense for the ending either.
Yeah.
Because the ending's really setting up, like, oh, we're doing it all because we love each other.
Yeah.
Which also, like, but doesn't make any sense either. They didn't talk for 5 years. Like,
well, I think that one, like, how during the wedding scene, people were like, oh, well, she's got that sad face because of Nate, or she's got the sad face because of Cassie. And I think that makes sense, like, being sad over Cassie. Like, maybe you don't really want to still be friends with this person, but they were, like, your closest friend. You, like, lived at their house, and then they, like, had this huge betrayal and never learned from it. And so, like, I feel like her being sad about that makes sense. And then feeling like she could then pull Cassie back once Nate started being a fucking weirdo makes sense. But then she was also, like, extorting Cassie.
yeah.
Which does not make sense. Because, like, if she's...
And it's the same thing at the pool scene where Rue's just, like, and Maddie knew to, like, take her shot, or, like, she knew how to, like, get her revenge. And then she started being like, oh, we can, like, give you a makeover, we can do this thing. So it's coming from this idea that, like, Maddie, like, I almost thought it was going to be like, you owe me money, I'm going to sue you.
Yeah, she's very
But she didn't end up
inconsistent.
like that.
Like, Maddie feels like she is very, like, if she loves someone, then she's not going to stab them in the back. That's, like, not how she is. But if you screw with her, then she will, like, run you over with a truck.
Yeah.
And I felt like they needed to, like, stick to one lane of whether she was still feeling vengeful over Cassie or if she had forgiven her and was like, okay, we can move on.
Yeah. I agree.
Also, Maddie would have taken care of Rue more. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like the whole first season, she's like kind of watching out for Rue, and like she's very much like watching out for Lexi too. Like, Maddie is a very protective kind of character, and she just gets none of that in this season.
Yeah. It's just, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed, but that's okay. It happens. I'm like,
It's turned into
there'll
the
be other
Euphoria
shows. Yeah. Other shows, other things to do. So
Honestly, Skins is a better version of Euphoria.
I'll watch Skins.
Skins is
And
so
I've never seen
it's
it.
so good.
Did you see that Love Island has announced a new cast and one of the girls is disabled and doesn't have a leg?
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're like doing a more diverse cast. They posted all this stuff like, please don't bully our island members, which is so crazy and
Yeah.
weird and sad. Some of the people seem cool. Obviously, they're doing a social media freeze this time so that you can't. And everybody's got like cool tattoos. I do also want to say that they're doing a social media freeze so that the island members can't post. Like their family members usually can post for them, like
I
vote
see.
whoever.
Okay.
But to mitigate that, they've gotten rid of that, so you're not allowed to do that.
So previously on the show, they didn't have access to their social media.
So they don't have access to their own social media
Okay.
at all. They have no access to the outside world.
Okay.
So they don't know how people are voting unless like somebody votes and it changes something in a game or something.
Gotcha.
But like if I went on Love Island,
I
I
could
could
keep
give
posting
you
for
my
you. Okay.
Instagram and then you could be posting like screenshots from this thing or like post other things and be like, everybody vote for our girl tonight. Like we need her, rally behind her. She doesn't deserve this. That guy's trash, like whatever. But it caused bullying. So now they're not doing that. Oh, it was really bad last year.
Why did it cause bullying? Okay.
So to be fair, like two of the original Islanders, there was a girl named Huda. Do you know anything about Huda?
You've told me about her.
Okay, so Huda was very
She has,
popular.
like, a kid and was.
She has a kid, but she didn't tell the guy that she was
Right.
paired up with. And like, you know, she ends up in this very toxic relationship. And then with this guy, Jeremiah, and they're very, I want to say this. It's a show where you essentially go on and you fall in love, right?
Uh-huh.
And like, that's the point, is that you're supposed to be like crazy about someone. But like, you're going on a reality show and everybody is a 10. Everybody's super hot. So like, I'm sorry, there is no like courting on reality television. Like they're getting dressed up and spitting milk in each other's mouths. Like it is like gross. Like
No.
yeah, and everybody's like you have to wear bikinis like the entire day. You're not allowed to wear real clothes. You have to wear bikinis like out in the villa all day long. Like yes, it is what it is. So like Huda and Jeremiah are like all over each other and they really like each other and they're just not giving anybody else the time of day. And people liked them together. But then the rest of the people in the villa start getting in both their heads about like, oh, you're not playing the game right. You're not doing this right. Like whatever. They were getting pretty popular. And then it started like Huda has some like very, very feisty. I don't know. She was like, she'd be yelling, they're fighting, they're screaming, they're throwing things. It's like really bad. And
my
it started
gosh.
getting like toxic, but then it started being like, she has a daughter and how's this affecting her? She's getting death threats. Like her social media is like below.
my God.
People are bullying her. Then they vote, like Jeremiah gets voted off the island. So he eventually leaves. Everybody thinks like, oh, Jeremiah's gonna say we're all gonna get Huda out of here. No, Huda ends up like going to the end. Everybody wants Huda to win because Huda was kind of treated unfairly.
How do you win?
You have to be in a couple that's essentially voted most popular at the very end.
Interesting.
So every week you either recouple or you like stay with the person that you're coupled with. And then you're trying to become essentially America's favorite couple and you like win money at the end. Last season was so terrible. There was so much drama. There were people who were like deep diving on people's social media and finding like old racist posts and like
great.
people were getting removed from the show like silently overnight. There was a girl who, I don't know, I was so wrapped up in it last year. I didn't watch Love Island before last year, but I only found it interesting because there started being an ethical question about like how much can they show or like when do you intervene in a situation like this? Especially when the people like don't know exactly what's being aired because out of a whole day, right? It's an hour out of every day.
Right.
So it's being edited a certain way. Just a lot of things happening. So I started watching because of the ethical question about like whether Huda would be removed or not. She wasn't. And then there was a girl named Sierra who posted some racially insensitive things about Asian people. And she was removed from the villa overnight.
Good.
And she thought that she was going to be like the most popular person in the villa. And she had some like weak responses and whatever. Like she kind of, I guess, apologized and recovered from it, but it like more so than the girl that was saying the N-word that got removed at the beginning. And that girl, she got hard removed. She was in like the intro, and then they were like, she won't be joining us. And then they aired the first episode. It was really crazy. So then they removed Sierra like in the middle, and then like she had been in like a full on relationship, and like these people were like having sex on the island. Like it's very messy. And like she had been hooking up with this guy. They were the only couple that had like really been together the entire time. They think they're the favorites. She gets removed overnight. And then he ends up becoming a crowd favorite with her best friend in the villa. And now they're like still in a relationship. And that girl's like modeling for Vogue. Like she blew up. Meanwhile, Sierra gets canceled. Craziness. Like it's very dramatic. People have been like all up in people's social medias. They are sending like death threats. They hate people. They're like, everybody's a bully. It's a whole thing. It was really, really crazy.
So how is not being on social media going to prevent that? Because they can
part
still
of it,
comment.
No, so part of it was that people were going on like there was, I guess Sierra had like a friend that was a handler like you. And so like Sierra would be doing something. She'd be like, oh, our girl's so kind. Our girl's so sweet. La, 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 la. Well, the minute that Sierra gets canceled, she's just like, I'm stepping away and I won't be like posting anything. I'm distancing myself. Then people were like hopping on. Then other people were coming on. Then people were like coming out of the woodwork on other people's like, yeah, we're unfollowing her. We're doing this. Like she's blocked because she was mean to her. What's her name on the episode this week? Like, yeah. And people's like families were essentially just posting like whatever they wanted on these people's like pages with like, and they can't speak for the people because they have no contact with the outside world. It was really, really crazy.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it was insane. And it was like, it was just really very insane. So they have decided to do that. I think the girl with the, she's a pro athlete, I think.
Oh, wow.
She has an amputated leg. She looks like a baddie, though. I'm, like, so excited to hear about her story. I don't know if she's a runner or a swimmer, but I think she was talking about, like, being an athlete. There's a girl that has a full leg sleeve. Like, you know, it looks cool. I was like, that girl's cool. But yeah, and then there's the brother of somebody that was on there last year. I don't know. I enjoy it, but if I watch it again this year and it feels the same as last year, which was like too dramatic, I think I won't watch it again. But if it just feels like upbeat and fun, I think I'll have a fun time. Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
I don't watch that much reality TV.
It's the only one that I watch. I don't watch any of the other ones.
I watched Perfect
like the
Match
Traders.
at one
Perfect
point.
Match, yeah. I never watched that.
Yeah, I watched like one season. We watched Love is Blind for like the first 2 seasons and then stopped.
I've met a couple people from Love is Blind, just randomly. And from The Bachelor. Like people who I know in real life dated people who were contestants on The Bachelor. So I'm always like 1 degree away from being like a Bachelor contestant. I don't want to be a Bachelor contestant, but I always think that's funny because there's always like somebody who I'm like friends with someone who knows somebody who's on The Bachelor.
Yeah, you know, like the general thought about influencers and like how they're all vapid and annoying and stupid.
Which is not true.
It's not true. And that like they don't work. That's kind of how I feel about reality star.
Yeah, but I do think being a reality star is...
You have to have a really certain type of personality to thrive in a reality setting. Like that girl.
Well, okay, somebody made a really good point the other day, which is that going on a show like The Bachelor or Love is Blind or any of these shows is essentially you are agreeing contractually to be in a PR relationship.
Yeah.
Whether or not you actually develop real feelings, you're agreeing to be in a PR relationship. It's people who are actively seeking PR relationships to elevate their brand and their status.
Yeah, that's
and I
true.
think that is the difference between just being a person who has a passion for influencing and being... like people who are actively seeking PR relationships that's some weird. And I think sometimes people are seeking PR relationship friendships. And I think that's where people get that vibe of like influencers are fake because there are people who are just out there being like, I just want to surround myself with people to like elevate my status.
There's
I hate that though.
That girl Dominique Defoe that I really like. She's like a little Filipina girl, I think, that does art and poetry and shit. She was on Perfect Match.
Oh, okay,
but
cool.
She also got bullied and hated it. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to see like Love is Blind being more, or not Love is Blind, Love Island being like more diverse.
Yeah,
and I feel like I don't know. It's just always the same like Miami hot people, and I feel like it's a little different this time. The UK one is usually poppin'. The UK people always look good. I'm like they have like incredibly cool people.
Okay, so I already like. We're on the internet. I know that opens us up to like a level of criticism and like bullying, even though people should not be bullying.
I get bullied by the boomers, like, so hard.
God.
People are always like, ew. And I'm like,
Thanks for your opinion, man.
you are 75 years old in a t-shirt from Walmart. No makeup. Like, who are you to tell me how I... Okay.
But like with
Delete,
reality
block.
TV and like all of these different shows, like what we're doing to like 100-fold, but they're also signing up to like be drunk all the time
Yeah.
and have their narrative not controlled by themselves. Whereas like we're very in control of what our narrative is online. So I just find that like so alarming that people are willing to do that.
Yes. When I was younger, I wanted to be a reality TV star. I actually like, auditioned for some reality shows and like got through. But the one that they wanted me on was this one called, I think it was called Dating Naked. And you like go on your first date naked.
Okay.
And I was like totally going to go
like
on
the
it.
opposite of the one where you wear a mask.
Yeah. The opposite one. I didn't go on it, but I definitely wanted to. And I thought that would be like the coolest thing to be on this like TV show. But I think also my frontal lobe wasn't developed and I would never do that.
Yeah, the only one I ever wanted to be on was America's Next Top Model. But
so fun.
I really liked their artistic
I want to be on American
shoots.
Idol, like really bad.
Oh, no,
Oh my God, I wanted to be on American Idol so bad. But like,
Yeah,
I don't have an American Idol
judges are
voice.
so rude.
I know, but I think I was delusional. They really thought like I was going to go on there and be the next American Idol. But then I have a friend who was on American Idol. He came in 3rd place and he was like, it was the worst experience.
Yeah.
And after he told me that, I was like, you know what? Maybe American Idol isn't like that great.
No, I think
of
any
an
reality
experience.
show is going to be like freaking hot garbage.
Well, because it's a place where you're singing karaoke. It's a professional karaoke song.
Yeah.
Like, but you're working for a record deal. So it doesn't really make sense because you can be really great at singing karaoke and you can kind of not write good music. Or like in this case, the guy that I know, he wrote incredible music. I mean, one of the most talented musicians I have ever heard. But like, yeah, but then like with karaoke, it's
well,
karaoke.
I mean, like Kelly Clarkson won and got her record deal, and then Avril Lavigne wrote her songs for her.
I never knew that.
Breakaway was written by Avril Lavigne.
You know, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such an Avril
Since You've
Lavigne
Been
song.
Gone? Is Since You've Been Gone written?
I don't know about
I love that
the
song.
other ones, but I don't think Kelly Clarkson writes her own music. So
Probably not. I really love her music. She's got an incredible voice. I love her covers on the Kelly Clarkson show that she does.
I have no
She
personal
eats
interest in Kelly
those.
Clarkson.
She eats those covers up. It's crazy the covers she does. I feel like they're almost always better than the original. Like insane. It's insane.
I always conflate Kelly Clarkson and Rachel Ray together.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't confuse
Like-
those two at all.
I don't really confuse them, but like I feel like they have the same face and the same
Energy?
yeah.
I don't see it, but I hear you. Your opinion is valid.
I don't really like either of them, so
Yeah, it makes sense. I was a big Kelly Clarkson fan when I was younger. I also really loved Carrie Underwood, but of course I was like in the church. So that's how it was.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
I
Carrie
was
Underwood.
I was like really, really into American Idol back then. Like
That
her
sucks.
season or like Catherine McPhee's season. I was really into it that year.
It's on American Idol.
Catherine McPhee came in like 2nd place
Oh.
on American
I
Idol.
never watched American Idol.
Yeah.
I was really into like Linkin Park, and I watched music videos on Fuse.
Yeah, I don't
that's
know
it.
what that is, but I hear you.
It's like MTV, but it was more for like alt
Okay.
rock.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
watched
stuff.
some MTV ones like when I was allowed.
okay, the MTV
Actually, no, it
ones
was
were,
what
like, the dating
CMTV,
shows.
Country Music Television. I was in the cult, Midgie.
God.
I was not allowed to watch
There was
MTV.
the MTV shows where they did like, oh fuck, what is it called? There was one where they picked their dates based on like what the person's bedroom looked like.
Yeah, okay.
Room Raiders.
Or like the moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, picked them based
Oh my
on moms.
God.
I only see TikTok clips of that. That was before my time. I was too
really,
young.
those
yeah.
are like my favorite. They were
Oh, that
so
sounds really
funny.
fun though. I think at the same time, I'm like 4 or 5 years younger than you. My reality television at that time would have been Trading Spaces, the like room makeover show for kids.
That's so much
fun.
less interesting.
I need to tell you that I would like actively daydream about like going on Trading Spaces and like getting a makeover crazy, and the rooms were crazy.
You're a
We're
weird
talking
kid.
like they're like you're into horses now. The whole room is like you're in a barn and like
Oh, you know,
what I mean?
I've
They're
seen
crazy
that.
looking. Yeah, and I would be
That's like very
oh my gosh.
dentist office TV.
Yeah, and that was my show, and I watched it nonstop, and I'd be like, oh, I knew exactly what. I was like, if I had to do one, I was like, I could have like a shoe room, and like there'd be like Hannah Montana Montana style, like shoe displays everywhere. I could do like a purse room and like the lamps would be purses. Or I know. I'm not saying it was a good idea. I'm just telling you that these were thoughts I had. I remember one time I came up with this whole concept for like an under the sea room where there were like murals of like sea creatures and like everything was like sea, but there'd be different parts of the ocean and like the dressers would kind of look like coral reefs. Like, I don't know. And it's so impractical and like doesn't make any sense.
That is not what I had like.
I dreamed about it.
Daydreaming about. I daydreamed about like being an actor. Like, I really wanted to, like, be...
I wanted to be a Disney Channel actor.
I didn't want to be a... I wanted to be in, like, fantasy movies.
I did not. I was like, I want to be Hannah Montana in the Hannah Montana show. You know what I mean? Or Lily. No. I could also have been... or Harper.
You're a very
you know what I mean?
Lily.
Harper.
You're very Lily and Harper.
Yeah. I see, in my heart, I wanted to be Hannah, but I was Harper, and I wanted to be Harper.
I wanted to be Alex.
Yeah.
Alex Russo.
We have an Alex and Harper vibe.
Yeah.
Wow, we're really Alex and Harper coded. That's crazy. If we ever decide to do like a Friends Halloween costume, that's one we should do. Alex Russo.
Do that one for sure.
Do that one this year.
I probably already have clothes I can wear.
So Alex and Harper.
Yeah.
That's frightening. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to say, I think this is the end of our day. We will be back. Minji's going away, so we'll be recording some more episodes, and everything will still be on time. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
We'll make sure to still deliver to you. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. This is really fun.
Yeah.
If you have things you want us to talk about, please DM us on Mythmakers Society Instagram.
Otherwise, we're going to keep talking about reality TV.
Hopefully not.
No.
No, we'll just talk about like random things, but I am probably going to put a poll up to ask for some specific questions. I've also thought about reading Reddit stories to each other. Just like things that we find interesting and getting each other's reactions to them. Kind of like this one with the Poshmark one. I think it could be fun to just chat about some of that stuff. But if you guys have any thoughts, specifically fantasy related, we would love to answer them.
Oh, I can show you old memes.
Old memes? I know like no memes. So
I love memes.
Memology class.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll see
Bye.
you. Bye.